This is a story of emergency managers preparing to deal with disasters and some of the systems being developed to help. They were brought together during an experiment in 2011 called the CAUSE Resiliency West Coast Experiment.
MASAS takes a system of systems approach using open standards and open architecture. What we define is the envelope which is passed back and forth between the systems and the structured information formats such as the common alerting protocol that are used to share that information.
This allows messages to travel between systems through essentially a national hub that uses a common messaging protocol called CAP, or Common Alerting Protocol.
In support of CAP implementation in Canada, we developed a Canadian profile. This profile defines a set of rules, event references, and location references that support policy implementations such as bilingual messaging. This profile is supplemented with other technical specifications that add such things as an area, the event area, to a CAP alert so that it may be displayed more adequately on a map in support of situational awareness. This experiment demonstrated the value of displaying alerts and situational awareness information on maps. Often we get alerts through email, phone calls, and other means which don't lend themselves to visual representation. But if you're traveling in an area where there's multiple road closures, it only becomes relative to you when you see it on a map relative to your route.
In the event of emergency, information is coming from various sources, dynamic information that's changing in real time. So having a system that allows you to see geospatially, and that's being through a map, where things are happening, where resources are, provides the ability for emergency management to be more efficient at what they do.
A key objective of our project was to work with several organizations in Washington State and understand what systems they are using and how we might integrate with the systems in Canada.
During the experiment, we had emergency officials on both sides of the border using the tools of their choosing. Some were using incident management systems, others were using geographic information systems. The common thread was the content that was being supported, and we did that through the Canadian Multi-Agency Situational Awareness System and the United States Integrated Public Alert and Warning System platform managed by FEMA.
Investigating the messaging infrastructure in the United States, we found that FEMA has a project operating under an executive order to develop IPAWS, which is the Integrated Public Alerting and Warning System, such that it can exchange messages between emergency management systems. So we were able to get some interest from a company called MyState USA, who were very interested in connecting their system to IPAWS, and then connecting that through MASAS, which is the Canadian hub, and consume those messages in the Canadian systems.
We receive American information from IPAWS, the Integrated Public Alerting and Warning System. It's the American equivalent of MASAS. American incident management systems such as SA Mapper and MyState USA can feed IPAWS. Events created in MyState USA in the Washington State Emergency Management Department are pushed to IPAWS, and these are then bridged to MASAS, the Canadian National Hub. And from there, they're made available into BCE Map or into any other subscribing Canadian system. Messages in MASAS can also be pushed into IPAWS and would then be available from there into systems such as MyState USA or SA Mapper.
Sharing information between systems that haven't previously been connected saves managers a lot of time in terms of getting an overall picture of what's going on. If we can get messages flowing back and forth across the border, if we have systems connected and talking to each other, then when dealing with a major incident, our operational managers have much more information at their fingertips.
My hope is that in the years to come, CAUSE experiments will include demonstrations of many more of these emerging standards, such as SITREP, hospital availability, tracking emergency patients, and other standards.
We found that the MASAS system was very stable and very easy to use in connecting all these systems. We were able to push in a whole stream of messages that were then presented and used as the backdrop and as the basis for a lot of the vignettes in this experiment.
I believe mission was accomplished because the experiment actually demonstrated that with a little bit of systems engineering in preparation for the experiment, we were actually able to solve many of the interoperability problems that would have prevented systems from working effectively together. So we were able to show technology working that enhanced situational awareness, shared it across jurisdictions, and enabled enhanced decision support.
The sharing of information, everybody's talking about sharing of information, and MASAS, multi-agency situational awareness, that's what it is across Canada. And then you've got IPAWS, which is in the States. Well, now you're combining and you're sharing information across those two. And it's only going to get bigger and better. And yeah, it's going to be good.
The CAUSE Resiliency West Coast experiment was an experiment in exposing new technologies to emergency operations in BC. With a small investment, we linked those technologies, and through film and real people using the systems, we demonstrated their value. We proved we could connect systems in the United States with our systems here in Canada. The technology is there, we can do it.